What's going on, YouTube? So I wanted to do a video about this T-Mobile SyncUp Drive device here. Now, I recently switched to T-Mobile, and I've got one for each of my cars. All right. I've also got two S8s. Pull this number off real quick. All right. T-Mobile's having a special buy one, get one free on the S8, so I got two S8s, and I got two of these SyncUp Drive devices, and these are what I want to talk to you about today. So I'm switching from Verizon completely, and previously on the Verizon platform I've been using a Zuby device. All right, and this has been a great little device except for one thing. The SIM card keeps coming loose, and according to Zuby it's a known defect, and they're trying to figure out how to make it more stable. Until then, they request that you put a piece of tape on the back of your SIM card and stick it back into the slot, and that seems to be doing the trick for most people. I use these devices, in case you're wondering what exactly it is. These devices allow you to track your car's location, allows you to set geofences, which basically says, hey, I set a perimeter around this area, and this car, because my daughter is driving it or my son is driving it, the car is not to leave this area. If it goes outside of that area, boom, you get a notification straight to your smartphone. All right? You can set a speed limit. You can say, hey, I don't want this car ever going over 70 miles an hour. If it does, boom, push notification straight to your device. You can track in real time on your smartphone where your vehicle is. I'm going to show you that real quick on my S8 here. I have the SyncUp Drive right here. You load it up. And in real time, I only have one vehicle because this one is going in my Mustang. This other one's in my Chevy Cruze. As most of you know, I rent my vehicles out. My vehicles are regularly rented, and this will allow me to keep track of where my vehicles are. Say someone takes off, doesn't want to bring it back. All right, I know where it's at. If they drive recklessly, it'll tell me if there's been any hard braking. It'll tell me what time the car leaves from where, when it arrives where. It's also a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot. So you can have Wi-Fi internet in your car, which is great for Uber and Lyft drivers, you know, rideshare drivers in general. And it gives me the ability to click on a trip, and you know, it gives you the breakdown: 2.8 miles, 16 minutes, 40 miles an hour was the maximum speed, average speed 11 miles an hour, maximum RPMs, fuel economy. All right, but that's not all. It gives you the option in this corner here to say, hey, this is a business trip. All right, yes, you can actually track business expenses. So as long as you can remember, and here's the deal, I've got QuickBooks. All right, that's what I use right here. Self-employed, you probably can't see it, but I use QuickBooks to keep track of my business miles and everything. And unfortunately, it misses a lot of miles, a lot. It doesn't work reliably. So I can't rely on that for my taxes. Well, that's where these devices come in. And I've been experimenting with this for many months. And unfortunately, this keeps losing SIM card signal, and because of that, I'm losing valuable information. So I'm sending this back. They're giving me a refund. Now I'm going with something that's been a little bit more thoroughly tested, and that's the SyncUp Drive. You can link, I think, up to like 25 cars, so that you shouldn't have an issue there. You can give all your cars unique names, unique colors. The device is only $48, and it's $10 a month. And with that, you get 2 gigs of 4G LTE data. And they do have higher plans if you want to use it as a real hotspot and you need 10 gigs or 20 gigs or whatever. You can actually upgrade your data. So my camera in my Mustang streams 1080 to the cloud. So if anything ever happens to my car, the footage is always on the cloud, even if they steal my dash cam. We're just going to rip this sucker open here. All right, so here's the device, and here's all your paperwork. And as you can see, it's very comparable in size to my Zuby device. And I know the screen's a little dark here, but there it is. It's got 2 LEDs on the back. It has a built-in battery, which is something that I think is really great. So even when your car is powered off, even if it's not receiving electricity from the OBD2 port, it will utilize the battery to keep track of where your car is, so you can still locate it even when the car's turned off. And that is a wonderful feature. In the package here, let's break this open for you real quick. You've got a SIM eject tool. This is pretty simple. You turn the device over, stick it in the slot, boom, SIM card tray pops out. All right, you've got a little welcome manual. You've got some other stuff. Here's your SIM card. You simply take your SIM card, pop it in your SIM card tray. Like so. And you reinsert it into your device. Make sure it's pushed all the way in. You got a restart button right here. You have a reset button right there, which you can use your little SIM tool if necessary to gently push that button. You can feel it click. The device is made by ZTE. All right, and then you've got, you know, your guides and all this other stuff that tells you how to work it. But this is the star of the show, and it's very simple to use. So you're going to want to go to your Apple Store or Google Play Store, whatever the case may be. You're going to want to download the T-Mobile SyncUp Drive application. As you can see, I already have it, but just for demonstration purposes, I wanted to show you. And as you can see, the app is right here. Now, once you have the app, you're going to want to sign up if you don't already have an account, at which point it's going to ask you some basic questions. Your cell phone number, your email address, and a password. And then you're going to have to agree to T-Mobile's terms of service. Now, once you've done all of that, you can log in, allow permissions, and you're good to go. All right, guys, so before we install this in the car, we need to add the key to the app so the app knows. On the back of your device is a bunch of barcodes. All right, and we need to scan that barcode with the app. So if this is your first time, it's absolutely fine. It's going to work just the same. You're going to add a brand new car. Or if you already have one, you're adding a second one like me, you just go to your cars list. Add a new car, and it's going to say, activate device by scanning the IMEI barcode. At which point, I'm simply going to move this out of the way real quick here. There we go. We've inserted the SIM card, already installed, so we can skip. Now it says install device. Connect your device. Make sure your car is parked and above ground in an area with cellular coverage. Find the OBD2 port and plug in your device. So now let's go plug it in. All right, guys, so in my particular car, this is the Mustang, the OBD2 port is located right down here. We're going to plug it in, turn on the ignition. And as you can see, the lights are starting to go off on the little device. Now we simply hit the continue button on our app. It says device found. Please do not unplug your device. Waiting to hear from your car. Setting up car. Estimated time to complete is about 15 minutes. All right, it says data has been received. And now it wants us to take the car on a short trip so it can verify that it's tracking the vehicle properly. So let's go for a drive. All right, so the app is telling me that we are setting up a new car and it will let me know as soon as it's ready. But first we have to take this little trip, and it can take up to 15 minutes, so keep that in mind. So let's go for a ride. All right, guys, so it looks like everything is working properly. As you can see here, this is the Chevy Cruze, and it'll give you all kinds of information, guys. Car overview, show you what the current voltage is, fuel level, diagnostic trouble codes, which it'll read those for you, possible recalls, service bulletins. We'll go back, and it can tell you more specifically about your battery voltage over time. You can go back, can click on fuel, 7 gallons left. You can click on issues, but we don't have any. It'll show you recent trips, and like I showed you before, guys, as long as you can remember when you're done driving for the night, you can click on your trip history right here, and as long as you can remember, guys, at the end of the night, what trips were business, and this should be pretty easy to do, but when you're driving, make sure you remember what your business trips are and say, oh, that was one that I took that was a business trip. You can simply come up to the top, click on Mark as Business, and then it will separate your personal from your business miles. So there's no way to screw this up, and this is probably the best way to do it next to a pen and paper, because all of these automatic mileage tracking apps have not been working for me, but this stays plugged in. It has a battery backup, so it runs 24/7. And there you can see all of your trips that you've taken. You can mark any one of those as business. There's your Wi-Fi information. You can switch cars here. We can go from the Cruise, which it shows as parked, to the Mustang, which it shows as parked. And we can see all of our information about the Mustang here as well. Recent trips, etc., etc. Come over here. We've got your Wi-Fi hotspot. This is where you set up your geofences. You could set your notifications right here. We'll set them for the Ford Mustang. As you can see, some of the stuff I got turned off because I don't want to be bothered every time my car starts and stops a trip. But low fuel is on. Speed limit is set to 80 miles an hour. If someone disturbs your car, it'll let you know. Then you can go to set up a geofence, which is right here. I'm not going to add one realistically, but if you wanted to, guys, you can set a geofence for 15 miles, 10 miles, a radius around any given area, and you can add as many of these as you want so that your car will notify you if, say, your teenager drives outside of this area and they're not supposed to. So, but I'm not going to set up any geofences because I don't need those. But this is a great app, and it's a great device, guys. It's the T-Mobile SyncUp Drive. It's $48 and then $10 a month. How are you going to beat that? This is ridiculously cheap. I'm very happy with it, and I definitely highly recommend T-Mobile as a service provider, as well as the SyncUp Drive for all of you drivers or people that are renting your car. And before anybody asks, no, T-Mobile hasn't paid me. I paid out of pocket for all of this stuff. All right, guys, in the interest of full transparency here, this is what I paid. As you can see, the total came out to $1,729.28. All right, this is what I paid. I'm not going to show you the whole contract because there's pages and pages. It has things like IMEI numbers, contract number, account number, my address, phone numbers, things of that nature. I'm not going to be giving that over to you guys, but this is what I paid. So, all right, guys, so that is my review, and I know I included a little extra about switching from Verizon straight up all the way T-Mobile. Now I'm done. Everything is done with Verizon. I want to point out that this Zuby that I was using that goes through Verizon, this cost me about $120 for the device itself. All right, and it's a defective product, and they know it's defective, and yet they're still selling them. So that's very concerning. They did issue me a full refund. I'm sending that back, and they're going to give me my money back. These are $48. $48. They're not defective, and they do everything that this does except better because these devices aren't defective. So $48 comes with a SIM card in the box, and I think there's a $25 activation fee. So you're looking at $25 to activate it, $48 to purchase it plus tax, $10 a month with 2 gigs of 4G LTE, and then you've got, they told me it's unlimited 3G. Now that's going by word of mouth. I don't know for sure. That's what T-Mobile told me. But if you want more 4G, you're absolutely welcome to pay a little bit more and increase the data to where you need it to be. So the app works great. I can track my cars. I can see everything now. My dash cam is working flawlessly on T-Mobile's network now. No more drop frames and intermittent issues. This is the way to go. I'm absolutely thoroughly satisfied with T-Mobile's network, with their service, and with their products. Cannot complain. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe. As always, stay safe out there.